This video will look at adding and subtracting matrices. To be able to add and subtract a matrix, they must have the same size, so same number of rows and the same number of columns. Let's take a look at the example. It says calculate A plus B. So I first need to know what matrix A is, and I provided that it is a 3 by 2 matrix. And then I also need to know matrix B. That needs to be the exact same size, and it is a 3 by 2 matrix. When I add them together, I add the elements that are in the same location together. So with matrix A, if I look at the first row, first column, and then matrix B's first row, first column, I see that those are 2 and 5. I add those together to get 7. I like to work across, so I continue with the same row. I have 0 plus 4 in the second column. 0 plus 4 gives me 4. I continue in that way with the second row and the third row. The resulting matrix is the answer, so our matrix is still a 3 by 2, 3 rows and 2 columns. One thing I want to mention is that addition is commutative with matrices, so it won't matter if you write matrix A first or if you write matrix B first when you're adding matrices. But when you're subtracting matrices, it will matter which one you write first. If I write A plus or A minus B and B minus A, I'm not going to get the same answer. One will actually be the exact opposite of what the other one was. Just all the positives will be negatives and all the negatives will be positive. Okay, for a subtraction problem, down below it says calculate A minus B, where A is 7 and 1 and B is 3 and 2. So it's important that I write A first, since that's the order of my subtraction problem. Write 7 and 1 minus 3 and 2. So I'm going to subtract the 7 and the 3, which will give me 4. Likewise, 1 take away 2 will give me a negative 1. So my answer ends up being a matrix that has 1 row and 2 columns. Matrix addition and subtraction can also be conducted on technology. I have many websites that I tend to use, but one that I default to frequently is matrixcalc.org, and I change it to English. I want to show you how to use this website in terms of adding and subtracting matrices. The first thing I need to do is enter the information into my matrix. I can see that on the website, this matrix A is a 3 by 3. If you need to make it larger to have more rows or columns, you hit plus. My very first example that I did on the document to the left had a matrix that was 3 rows by 2 columns. When I use this website, I need to make sure that the row number is the correct amount. The columns really don't matter. So I'm going to type in 2, 0, 1, 1, 5, 3. Now I navigate between those cells by using the tab. Over in matrix B, I need to type 5, 4, 0, 2, 2, and 6. I want to add these matrices, so I can look down below and it says A plus B, and I can click that button. Another option is down in this fillable section. I can also type A plus B, and both will give me the same result. So it won't really matter which one you use. I'm going to go ahead and click A plus B, and you'll see that the answer of 741379 is exactly what I had on the document to the left. Now, since I've already entered those matrices, if I had wanted to subtract them, I could keep the values inside the matrices there and type or click A minus B, and then I have my A minus B. My second example on the document, though, was not as large. My matrix had only 1 row and 2 columns. So I'm going to go up above and I'm going to clean out all those elements that had been typed in both matrix A and B. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit by hitting the minus sign, and it reduces it down to a 2 by 2 matrix. Now I need to have a 2 by 2 because I do have 2 columns. If I reduced it 1 more, I wouldn't have enough columns. Okay, so matrix A was a 7 by 1, or sorry, had 7 and 1 as elements, and matrix B had 3 and 2. I hit subtract, find out the answer is 4 and -1, which is what I had before. So this verifies our answers. Feel free to use technology.